Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference reaction ahead of our game against Southampton this Sunday. So I'm going to give you all the questions he was asked and I'm going to give you his responses to them questions. So this was the first question. After a great start to the season, what's the team news? So Ole's response to that was, of course, as you say, a great start. First game of the season, when you get off to a good start with the fans, it changes the mood, or it sets the mood. Our job now is to capitalise on it, get more energy, don't get complacent with regard to team news. That's a boost as well. Edison's joined in, Raphael's joining in, so we're getting fitter and fitter. So that was Ole's response to that question. So the second question was, will there be starts for both or either of Sancho and Varane? Ole's response was, you'll see on Sunday. They worked well anyway, they've had minutes, we've had a very good week ourselves. We'll see who's making the flight down to Southampton on Saturday. I'm expecting Sancho and Varane to play in this game. If Varane does play on Sunday, that will be his Premier League debut for Manchester United. Varane to Man United was official last weekend just before kick-off against Leeds. We got Raphael Varane for £34 million, add-ons were obviously included, so that rises up to around £43 million. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United, there's an option of a further year. And Varane is wearing the number 19 shirt. The Raphael Varane announcement was delayed at one point due to image rights. Don't forget Varane had to quarantine in Manchester, and the other week he completed his medical. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a very good pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies when he was at Real Madrid. He won like La Ligas, Champions Leagues, the Copa del Rey, FIFA Club World Cups. Back in 2018 he won the World Cup with France. But Varane will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and at Man United he will replicate what he did in his years with Real Madrid. What a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. Jadon Sancho, if he starts this game on Sunday, that will be his full Premier League debut. Sancho made his debut for Man United last weekend against Leeds because Sancho came on. Prior to the game against Leeds, Sancho's debut was in doubt because Solskjaer came out and said that Sancho was feeling a little sick, and he mentioned that he'd only been able to complete one full training session. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million with add-ons included. Sancho's got a contract with us until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. And I think Sancho will do very well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. So anyway, that was the second question. So this was the third question that was asked to Ole. How much of an impact will Jesse have on the squad this season? Ole's response was, I think Jesse's first priority is to get into our team. I think whenever your employer is Man United, I think that's your first priority. It always is. I think we together can have great moments. Of course, as a manager with players in a squad like I've got now, it's difficult. It's difficult to say that this weekend you're not playing because I have got to leave players out. Never mind from the starting 11, even from the squad, but they'll all have to remember and know that they're going to have to play a part if we're going to be successful. Jesse's back to his fitness. He's played really well in the behind closed doors game on Tuesday, and he's come back bubbly and in good shape. He's got a big part to play. Well, I recently gave you the news on Jesse Lingard. You know, Solskjaer did confirm that Jesse Lingard remains part of his first team plans this season. Well, the Times said that Jesse Lingard is ready to leave Manchester United if he does not play regularly. Now, West Ham and Everton have been interested in him. Premier League Live said that Lingard has agreed to join West Ham on loan in this summer transfer window. Lingard had a 4-month loan spell with West Ham. What? That's good, that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like it? This is what shirt were they wearing when they won for Premier League, 1993. 92, 93.
I know.
But else you could sell that on eBay.
Good, that, yeah.
This is my favourite shirt. It's always been my best one.
Yes, I was saying he had a 4-month loan spell with West Ham last season and made a fantastic impact. Now, Stuart Pearce, who's West Ham's first team coach, he said West Ham want to sign Jesse Lingard, and he mentioned that he's a special lad. Well, recently West Ham received a huge boost in their pursuit of Jesse Lingard because it said we dropped our asking price for Lingard to 20 million. Initially we was demanding 30 million, but West Ham were struggling to meet that asking price. Fabrizio Romano did mention that West Ham are ready to submit another bid. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. He's been part of the club for a long time, you know, risen up our academy. He's made like 133 appearances for us in the Premier League. There was a period where Lingard went, was it over a year without scoring a goal in the Premier League or registering an assist. But he's had his good periods, you know. With us, Lingard's won the FA Cup, the Charity Shield, the Europa League and the EFL Cup, and he scored in, like, what, 3 of those finals? But Lingard's had quite a few loan spells, you know. He's had loan spells with Leicester, Birmingham, Brighton, Derby and West Ham. Lingard was omitted from the squad last week for the game against Leeds. So anyway, let's revert back to the question. So that was Ollie's response to that question. This was the next question. This is about Pogba. So he was asked, what is the latest surrounding Paul Pogba? Ollie's response to that was, that's negotiations with Pogba's representatives and the club. For me and Pogba work together every day here, and we keep trying to improve the team and to enjoy ourselves. When you win games, you enjoy yourself more. We've just got to make sure this isn't just one game and everyone flies off and all these, you know. We get these big headlines and praise we get. It's about bringing more energy into the next one and being even better. One swallow never makes a summer. So that was Ollie's response to that question. Now, I was talking with you about Paul Pogba yesterday. It has said that Pogba is set to not sign a new contract this summer, but Pogba has refused to rule out a new deal. Solskjaer said not so long ago that he's confident that Pogba will extend his contract with Man United. The Athletic said that Man United are set to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club, with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba receives $290,000 a week at the moment on his current contract. Pogba's contract expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract because Sky Sports came out and said that Pogba was increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future, and the Telegraph did mention that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he'd make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Sky Sports mentioned before the start of the season that Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Sky Sports recently said that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires, and it said he's set to join PSG on a 3. PSG are pushing to sign Pogba next summer, and PSG are prepared to offer Paul Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. PSG getting Pogba this summer hit a stumbling block as PSG got Lionel Messi. Back in July though, it said that PSG were interested in Pogba and PSG were the favourites to sign him, and PSG held talks with Pogba's representatives, and it said that PSG were willing to offer £45 million. Earlier on in the summer, Mauricio Pochettino got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again, and he played down PSG's interest in Pogba. But Pogba is expected to stay at Man United for at least this season. Pogba put a very good performance out last weekend against Leeds. He got 4 assists and should have got his name on the score sheet because he had a fantastic chance in that game. Pogba produced good performances in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and Pogba sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. Pogba will definitely be in contention to start this game against Southampton on Sunday. Like I said, I think we'll put him on that left-hand side in more of an advanced role. He's more effective in more of an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. This is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We paid £89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. So anyway, this was the next question. Will Ahmad Angana or anybody else head out on loan? All his response to that was, I would definitely think Jimmy will go out on loan. That's more or less done. He's done really well in pre-season and he's really impressed me. And I think for his career, another season or another 6 months now to start with playing regularly in the Championship will help him. With Ahmad, I have to say he's doing really well in training. He's come back a little bit later after the Olympics. We needed some time to get him back in, and now he's looking really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed as well. It has to be the right loan, right move, right club, right way of playing for any of our youngsters really that want to go. So yeah, that was all his response to that question. I recently gave you the news on Amad Diallo, and it said that Amad Diallo is 90% certain to leave Man United on loan in the coming weeks. Now, Sheffield United have been interested. Fabrizio Romano did mention that Crystal Palace and Basel have registered their interest in signing Amad Diallo on loan. Amad Diallo hasn't really played that much for us. We got Amad Diallo in a deal worth £37 million from Atlanta back in January. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. So the next question was, what are you expecting from Southampton? What are your expectations of the game? Ollie's response to that was, you know, that game was a one-off 9-0. That's a special game when you get a lad sent off in the first minute, so I don't count that game at all. Always with Ralph's teams, you get high energy, high pressing, belief in themselves, and they give you a great challenge like they did last season. We were lucky to, well, not lucky, maybe good, when we turned their 2-goal lead into a 3-2 win. For us, with Edison's substitute appearance, we know every time we travel down there it's a very, very difficult game. Fair response again from Ollie. This was the next question. Is it mandatory for all your players to be double jabbed, and are they all double jabbed? Ollie's response was, short response, they're not all double jabbed, no, I am. Put it that way, and I encourage the lads to take the vaccinations, but we can't force anyone to do that, no. The next question, have some refused? Short response again from Ollie. To my understanding, we're still wanting everyone to be double jabbed, and it's up to them. It's still possible to take them. Response to that one. This is another question regarding Raphael Varane. So it was, on Raphael Varane, why did you want to sign him? What did you see in him? How has he been settling in training? This is a long response from Ollie. So he said, I think if you follow football in the last 10 years, that's the reasons we want to sign him. What's he done over his career? It's no secret that we were close, or we were in there. When he left to Real Madrid 10 years ago, Sir Alex was in there speaking to them, and we were close. Ever since his performances on the pitch, his demeanour and behaviour off the pitch, it tells me that's a Man United player, and we managed to convince him to have the feeling of Man United. I think that's been in his heart ever since he went to Real Madrid as well. I think he had a little bit of a feeling for Man United, and we definitely have had feelings for him for many, many years. The Champions League wins he's had, the World Cup wins, everything about him is class. He's a defender who is quick, strong, good in the air. He can play with both feet. The short answer is everything about him is what you want. He's been humble, he's been inquisitive, he asks questions, he doesn't want to learn by mistake in the game. He wants to learn it on the training field before he comes on the pitch. Everything about him has been impressive. So yeah, Solskjaer's really, really praised Raphael Varane there. So that was his response to that one. This was another question. Your away performances last season were absolutely fantastic, and you picked up lots of points. There's going to be crowds when you play away this season. How are you going to approach that, and will it be different? Ollie's response was, definitely, it'll be a big difference. I don't know how many points, but we won so many points from going 1 goal down, but you can't afford to do that with fans in the stadium when you're away from home, because the fans mean so much in the energy levels that a little bit of extra edge, maybe some nerves if you're the away team. We have to start better. That's a definite. We have to, of course, manage the game so that the away fans and the ones that are heard. We've got the best away fans in the world, but we can only hear them if we play well and start well. You want to silence the home crowd. I know that's not going to happen when it's the first game at St Mary's for 18 months, so that's not going to happen. It's going to be allowed, but it's up to us to play the football to do that as well. Again, fair response from Ollie. Right, this is towards the end of the press conference, so this is questions regarding Edison Cavani. So, on Edison Cavani's fitness, how was he doing and how important was he to let him have a little bit of extra time at home this summer? Hall's response was Edison's always looked after himself, of course. He's lacking in team training, in football training, but he's been looking after himself, and you can see that. He had different reasons as to why he was late. There were some personal reasons, but his body can tolerate a lot. It wasn't that he needed those extra days physically, it was a different matter. He's chomping at the bit, he's ready to go, and let's see how much we can get out of him early on. So yeah, I think Cavani is now back. Cavani obviously didn't play any part against Leeds because he was unavailable, but I'm glad Cavani's staying for this season. He will be leaving after this season though. But he has made an impact since he's come in. You know, Cavani's hold-up play is good, his movement in and around the box is good. He scores good goals and he also creates very, very good chances. This was the last question of the press conference. This is regarding Dean Henderson. On how Dean Henderson is doing, how alarming was it for you that a young athlete in such good shape as him would still suffer the effects of COVID-19? Quite a bit after contracting it. So Ollie's response to that final question was the whole situation around COVID is still unknown and it's new for everyone, and that's the scary bit. We don't really know the effects on you. You hear people have it, less fit people than footballers have it and have no symptoms, and then you have fit footballers and you get after effects and prolonged side effects and tiredness. So it's a scary disease and virus, so we need to really be careful with regards to Dean. He was tired after trainings. He felt that we needed to check him up. Now he feels much better. He's passed all the tests that we've gone through with him. He's training and building himself up again because he's lost a few weeks. He's working hard in the gym, working out on the grass. He's not with full team training yet, but it won't be too long. So yeah, that was his response to that. Dean Henderson will be back very, very soon. But he's glad that he's much better. Anyway, that was everything that was mentioned in the press conference. I'm expecting Manchester United to win this game against Southampton because, like I've mentioned, we've got a very good away record in the Premier League. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. And we've had a very, very good start to the season. You know, beat Leeds last week 5-1 at Old Trafford. We saw Bruno Fernandes get his first hat-trick as a Manchester United player. We saw Pogba get 4 assists. We saw Fred and Mason Greenwood get their name on the score sheets. And Luke Ayling scored Leeds' goals. To be fair, Luke Ayling's goal was the best goal of that game. And we recently beat Burnley 3-1 in that behind closed doors game. It was a friendly. Southampton, they lost their opening game last week against Everton 3-1. And like I mentioned in that on the preview, I think Southampton are going to really struggle this season. Because obviously they've lost key players. You know, they lost Danny Ings to Aston Villa this summer, and definitely Danny Ings was one of Southampton's key players. They also lost Bertrand, he went to Leicester. Bertrand was one of their key players. They also lost Vestergaard to Leicester, and he was one of Southampton's key players. And they've lost a lot of other good players as well. You know, they lost the likes of Cedric Soares to Arsenal. They lost Holberg to Tottenham. They lost Luke Shaw to us back in 2014. Southampton also lost Charlie Austin, and he was good for Southampton when they had him. Quite a few years ago, they lost Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool. They also lost Ajar Lovren to Liverpool, Nathaniel Klein to Liverpool. They lost Adam Lallana to Liverpool and lost Sadio Mane to Liverpool. Liverpool have done very good business with Southampton, haven't they? Southampton did make some signings in the summer. Obviously, they brought Adam Armstrong in from Blackburn. They brought Valentino Livramento in. They brought Armando Broja in. And they also brought Romain Parod in. Theo Walcott, he's now back at Southampton. Last season he was with Everton. Southampton did have Minamino on loan, but now he's gone back to Liverpool. One of Southampton's key players is Nathan Redmond. He'll be in contention to play in this game. I think Stuart Armstrong is pretty good for Southampton. They've also got Shane Long. They've got Obafemi. Obafemi is definitely one of their key players. They've also got Teller. Chi Adams, he's quite good. They've got James Ward-Prowse. He's also good as well. He's actually been out with injury. I think Ward-Prowse could play in this game. Romeu, I think he'll be in contention to play in this game. Romeu was out with injury for a while last season. Southampton have also got Kyle Walker-Peters. They've got Harry Lewis, Alex McCartney. Smallbone, he's out with injury until September. They've got Bednarek as well, you know, he's quite good. And I think Southampton's first choice goalkeeper is Forster. Southampton's manager is Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's been at Southampton now for quite a few years. He's got a contract with Southampton until 2024. I think he has transformed Southampton, done a pretty good job. I'll tell you when Southampton were very consistent, when they had Mauricio Pochettino. Because Mauricio Pochettino did guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League, which I think was 8th. But we've got a very good record against Southampton. We seldom lose to them, especially at St Mary's. I can't remember the last time we lost at St Mary's. But yeah, like I said, we beat them in this fixture last season 3-2. We overcame a 2-goal deficit. And we're beating them 9-0 at Old Trafford last season. That was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995. The last time Southampton beat us was back in January 2016, 1-0. But the players that we've got missing, Rashford, he's out with a shoulder injury at the moment. He's out until October because earlier on in the summer, don't forget, Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. There's no Alex Telles. He wouldn't have been in contention to play in this game anyway. Obviously, Dean Henderson's still out. And I think that's about it, you know. Phil Jones has now come back. He made his comeback from injury in that game against Burnley. You know, Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. Jones is staying at Man United this season because Solskjaer told Phil Jones that he remains part of his first team plans for this season. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Eric Bailly, he's now back. Lingard's back, you know, he did have COVID not so long ago. So there you go. Our next game after Southampton is Wolves. You know, we should be beating Wolves. You know, after Wolves, Newcastle, then it's West Ham. basically we should win our next 4 games. Man United are top of the Premier League at the moment. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.